This is Q.I.Q, the question in question. Brought to you by TherapyBites Art Lab. Here to take a bite out of modern-day pseudo-psychological psycho-malarkey. Now entering the Art Lab studio, today's T-Ballers, a collection of fellow strugglers, confronting personal challenges, navigating precarious relationships, and tackling trauma. Humans like each of us, juggling difficult human emotions, each here with unique life experiences, lived stories, and questions we'll bite into that just might help you too. And now, entering the Art Lab studio for the 9,880th time is the host of Therapy Bites Q.i.Q, Doc Heath.
Hey QiQers, T-Ballers, TherapyBites Art Labbers. We are so glad that you're here. I'm glad that I'm here. I'm glad that you guys have made it to Tuesday. Hump Day is just one day away. And that always brings me fond memories of my son being in elementary school, who he and his whole class was put on warning about, I think it was the insurance commercial, where there's a camel that would say, Hump Day! And they were told they'd be sent to the office if they said Hump Day one more time. But it is one day away from Hump Day. Yeah, so you're tired of it already. I want you to know I gave up my popsicle for you guys. I have a popsicle for dessert in the evenings, and this was a particularly good mango popsicle. But I saw I was running kind of late. Ate kind of late. I had a late session with a patient, and so couldn't eat the popsicle. But no worries. I replaced it with a Bailey's Macchiato. And for those of you who are not coffee aficionados, macchiato means stain, as in stained milk. And you pour, coffee in the milk and it stains. That's what's called a macchiato. You guys know how the game is played, and we will go to the board and pick out some answers actually. Our categories for the evening, as always, couch crumbs questions, or it could be a quote. Creature features, some of our psychological concepts. Of course, my favorite, social media smackdown. We take on the psycho-malarkey on social media, fresh from the therapy couch, which is all about, I need to turn the gain down. I turned it up, and it may be a little bit blowing your ears out there. Couch Crumbs, which is our newsletter in Nero, also called Psych Secrets. And we'll go to the board and see that our first item, if I could grab it here, is from, we kind of always go in the same order, right? And it is for Couch Crumbs questions. And I will pop it up on the board here and give everybody, whoops, let me get my little window back. Hey, look at that. Look who showed up. Who's that? That's my sister Dina. What's up, big brother? Not just some random person, somebody I'm actually related to. So all you watching by Twitter, welcome. Facebook, welcome. LinkedIn, and streaming, of course, to YouTube. And we will go to the main window here, and the answer is for 600 Psy coins. And what can you do with those? Well, you can collect them, store them, trade them. Nah, you can't really trade them. I guess you could trade them. I don't know why you trade them when you can spend them in the Art Lab store for cool stuff. Keep your blank moving, and your mind will catch up. You'll see there's 30 seconds left and counting on the board, and we're counting down. And by the way, while we're counting down, I'm going to disrupt your thinking by saying we're trying to work on this becoming a call-in show where you can call in your answers, but we're psychology people, not tech people. But hey, no worries, we'll figure it out. I'll put up on the board one more time, and we don't have any answers just yet. You can put that in the chat and win the Psy coins. But the answer is for 600 Psy coins, keep your blank moving, and your mind will catch up. And what is that? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the question is, what is body? What is body? One of the best things you can do, and gosh, my eye's burning here for just a second. If you look at a screen long enough, Those of you that know, your eyes are burning. And my lovely sister there, she guessed thoughts, but it's actually keep your body moving. Keep your body moving. One of the best things you can, well, hey, William guessed the same thing, my sister and William. And by the way, William, a shout out to William, because William brought me two, not one, but two of the most famous watermelons in the universe. Other universes. Imagine that. Most famous watermelons in the universe. They're Cave City watermelons, and if you're not had any, I'm telling you, they're just luscious goodness, and you can eat them all day long, which we did. One of them's already gone. But the answer, the question here is, what is your body? When you're having depression, when you're having anxiety, when you're having, dealing with that trauma, don't stop. Stop stopping. Please, stop stopping. Move, move, move. Your mind will catch up. Let's go back to the board here, and this is going to be, whoops, here we go. All right, for 400 side coins, it is from Creature Feature, and I'll slap it up on the board. Gosh, slap it up on the board. So violent, huh? I shouldn't be slapping stuff. By the way, I did a mic drop the other day. I'll show you what that's about. I'll put it up here in the chat, and I'll tell you my mic story here in a moment. And see if you guys can guess the question, and we'll be right back after this.
If you are a fellow human struggling with difficult emotions, a fracturing relationship, parenting problem, mental health difficulty, have a psychotherapy from hell story to tell, or a challenging life experience question, and would like to share your story by stepping up to bat as a T-baller, either register by texting Q.i.Q to 1-870-686-4196 and join our Therapy Bites community, or send a postcard with your name, address, phone number, email address, and age to the address on the screen. Therapy Bites, Q.i.Q, P.O. Box 1391, Jonesboro, Arkansas, 72403, 1391.
William, thank you very much. You guys missed all that story. I'll have to replay it at some point. And my sister's telling me I'm muted also. Gosh, Tina, wouldn't you have loved to have had a mute button when we were kids? And now I have a mute button and I use it too much. So I'll read the question again. The question is, or the answer rather, is this little critter for 400 side coins encourages you to compare your life and your neighbor to your neighbor, your coworker, and those on social media, thinking they all have lives better than yours. And the correct question is, what is a fox? We don't really have a fox in the art lab. Maybe we should. Dina says a fox. It's actually, what is a fairy tailing gnat? Now, gnat stands for negative automatic thought, and it's one of the critters in our critter corner, which teaches us that we can have distorted thoughts called negative automatic thoughts. And the fairy tailing gnat flies around in your brain trying to convince you that you're less than that person, you're worth less than that person's better off than you are. But when Dean and I were kids, our dad had an 8-track tape player. You youngins can Google that. And there's a famous singer named Charlie Rich. They called him the Silver Fox. He had a mane of silver hair. And he sang Don't no one know what goes on behind closed doors. So stop comparing apples to oranges. You just don't know what others are going through. Let's go back up to the board here, and we'll pick another item here. It's going to come from, hey, one of my favorites, social media smackdown. And I'll grab this and pop it up there for you guys. And I'll put it in the chat first. I might have hit the timer too quick. I'll give you a few more seconds there. And, oh, that is the T-ball triple of the day. And the answer is, discipline is built on the back of motivation. And motivation is built on the back of this. There's a couple of guys on social media. I respect them a lot. They've accomplished a lot. They are military service members, and of course I respect that. But they get this one wrong. They say that you should forget about motivation. Motivation doesn't matter. And many think that motivation is some magical elixir that I could put in my coffee. And by the way, this Bailey's Macchiato, delicious. You should try some of that. It's got no alcohol. It is Bailey's Macchiato, but it doesn't have any alcohol. William says flutter thoughts. I don't know what you mean by flutter thoughts. Some type of distorted thought, probably. Oh, what are thoughts? Yeah. Don't you just love the autocorrect what are thoughts? Wow. Look at that. William got it right. Yes. Discipline is like ruts in the road of your brain. It's things that you wind up doing automatically. And you've never met someone without discipline, but they may be disciplined in the wrong direction, okay? If you sit on the couch and eat a case of honey buns all day long, you're disciplined to do that. It's, well, we call it a habit, but that's also discipline. You've actually driven ruts in your brain to do that. I actually have a lot of discipline for drinking coffee. I drink espressos and lattes all day long. Discipline is just a very deeply ingrained, deeply encoded behavior, but discipline is built on the back of motivation, and motivation is built on the back of the meaning that you find in something through your thoughts and cognition. So I'll put in here that William, the watermelon giver, thank you, William, 1800, whoops, if I can spell, PCs, because that was the T-ball triple. Let's go back to the board, and this item comes from Fresh from the Therapy Couch, and this is where we tell real life stories from real life people and their experiences that ask us to share this stuff out in the case that it may help someone else. And I will put this in the chat. We'll take just a quick little break here, and as you canoodle your noodles on that one, we'll be back.
If you plan on being in the local area of your podcast player app and would like complimentary tickets to the TherapyBites Q.i.Q Art Lab studio audience, please search TherapyBites on your device and just smash that subscribe button. Your complimentary ticket grants you access to alerts so you'll never miss a show.
And you know, this one that could actually be on a social media smackdown, but the answer is this is a term that we use in the art lab that we've awarded to the type of therapist that never challenges you, never challenges your distorted thoughts, because more than wanting you to get better, they just want you to keep coming back. And if they say tough things, you may just leave and you take your money with them. And we're out of time on that one. And I'll put this up there, and it's no offense to anybody, but it's something that hopefully will teach people how therapy really works. I tell people all the time, I'm a therapist. I'm just not a massage therapist. So the question is, what is a massage psychotherapist or a nodding head doll psychotherapist? By the time you leave therapy, if you go through the whole protocol of therapy, you should, thank you, William. Who is Doc Keith? Well, I try to be that because I try to stick to a protocol. And yes, I had people say, oh, it's like you try to give me an English lesson, because I talk to people about using the F word. It's a 4-letter word. It starts with F, but it's spelled F-E-E-L. And people get their thoughts mixed up with their feelings. And if you train your brain to associate what you're going through as a feeling, then every time you have that feeling, you'll think that that experience is happening. And so it's just a bad association. It's part of cognitive behavioral science is we really program our brains with our words. So words are important. What is a massage psychotherapist? A massage therapist is wonderful. You guys should get one day. But a massage psychotherapist who's here just to tell you what you want to hear is just bad therapy. Okay, let's go back to the board. And this will come from Psych Secrets. And let's see, did I lose? I hope I didn't lose audio. Give me just a minute, guys. I had a Siri listening to me, and she's putting stuff up here on the board that I don't want. That's a weird thing, huh? All right. Let me get my screen cleared away, and I'll be right back with you. This is going to come from Psych Secrets for 400 Psych coins, and I will pop this up on the board. This is our last item of the evening. And you that listen to the show, oh, this should be no sweat whatsoever. And we'll go to the board. And thank you guys once again for being here. It's been just really, really wonderful. Take a gander at that, and we'll take a drop here. A drop meaning a segment in the show. We'll be right back.
Premier accommodations for our T-Ball contributors provided electronically by the luxurious Art Lab Studio, overlooking the steaming cesspool of pseudo-psychological social media psychomalarkey and located in cyberspace on your favorite podcast hosting platform, where we invite you to the most psychomalogically thrilling podcast in town, while you feast on our award-winning psychologically nutritious buffet of TherapyBites cuisine, conscientiously cooked up by your hard-working T-Ball team chefs.
Okay, guys, you ready for the final one? This is from Psych Secrets, and the item is, for 400 Psych coins, when the Art Lab uses these words to explain the neuroscience phenomenon of long-term potentiation. Not as complicated as you might think, which is just a strengthening. You know, we're talking about ruts in the brain. Well, this is what does it. If you want to know the neuroscience behind discipline, this is it. Which is strengthening of signals and circuits in the brain due to patterns of activity. Even my puppy dog Scruffy has patterns of activity. He wants to do the same things at the same time of the day every day. And William says amygdala. That's not quite right. The amygdala, is the almond-shaped part of the brain. You have one in the left hemisphere. You guys may be mirrored, but this is the left side of my head, right side of my head there, and you have part of the amygdala on one side, part on the other side, amygdala. But that's kind of your fight or flight center. This is a little bit different than that. And the question is, what is practice, practice, practice? I tell people, if you want to change a behavior that has persisted for decades, why would you expect to change it overnight? If you've been doing the same thing for 10, 15, 20 years, it won't take that long to reprogram it, but it certainly won't be overnight, and it certainly won't be in the space of one therapy episode. I want to thank you guys again for joining us. If you have questions you'd like for us to tackle, just text those to us at 1-870-686-4196. That's 1-870-686-4196. Or go back, replay it, drop us a postcard. We'll be back Thursday night at 7 o'clock. You guys have a great evening. Take care of yourself. I think I may just go for a bike ride. That's a new pattern I'm trying to create. The moon is bright and beautiful. It's a full moon. Beautiful. You should try a walk or something like that. Have a good afternoon. We'll catch you guys next time.
Next time on Therapy Bites Art Lab Q.i.Q, Doc Keith and T-Ball callers face off against steaming piles of pseudo-psychological psychomalarkey directly from your favorite social media platforms, or perhaps from the psychotherapy couch of a pill-pushing, emotion-demonizing, bobble-headed, woo-woo clinician who fed their kooky Kool-Aid to you. This is Art Potto speaking. Therapy Bites Q.i.Q is a Dr. I'm a Floyd Knot production. Distributed by the Therapy Bites Art Lab Podcast.